Well, hello there, guys. Today we're going to look at dividing decimals. This is a readiness standard that is heavily tested. So let's go ahead and read the problem. Miss Jaffe had a total of 428 and 5/10 ounces of pretzels to put into 5 bowls for a party. She put an equal number of ounces of pretzels into each bowl. How many ounces of pretzels did Miss Jaffe put into each bowl? Well, first of all, they have these fancy names, but don't get hung up on the name. You can insert any name there that'll help you understand, comprehend the word problem. So let's go ahead and box in or circle our important numbers. So we need 428 and 5/10 and 5 bowls. And a keyword here that indicates whether we're going to be multiplying or dividing is each. So I teach my students, when you see that word, go ahead and draw your division and multiplication flow chart. Okay? And put in the information that you have. Now, the total goes at the top if they gave you the total. All right? And then you have groups, G for groups, and then I for items. All right? So they gave us a total, right? So she has 428 and 5/10 of ounces of pretzels into 5 bowls. We're going to put 5 into the groups because they gave us a total and then they gave us a group. So when you're going from total to group, as you can see, your operation symbol you have there is division. So we're going to divide this out. Another key word was equal number. Okay, we know when we divide out, we're putting our items into equal groups. All right, so we're going to draw what I call Big 7. So we have Big T, and this is Big 7. My students know that Big 7 means they have to divide. So we're literally going to draw an enormous 7. We're going to put 428 and 5/10, into our division house. We call that the dividend. And then we're going to put 5 outside the house. That is the divisor. Now, as you can see in our dividend, we have 4 digits. So I'm going to place 4 lines, at the top into my quotient and bring my decimal straight up into the quotient, arriba. All right, and then we're going to come over to the side, and we're actually going to write out the multiples of 5. We're going to skip count by 5. So we're going to do this up to 9 times. 1, and I'm going to number my lines 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now this is long division, but it helps the students actually write out their thoughts. And this area right here, those are our factors. Whereas this area where we actually do our skip count by 5, those are our multiples. So let's go ahead and my students, I let them draw dots. If they need assistance with skip counting, it'll help them count by 5s. So whatever your divisor is, you're going to skip count in this area, the multiples area. You're going to skip count, by that divisor, whatever your divisor is. In this case, we have a single digit divisor. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, then 45. All right. Now, the digits that are circled, which are our factors, those are the numbers that would go up here into the quotient. All right. And then our multiples come over into the subtraction machine. I'm going to change the color of my pen so that you could see the difference in our actual work. So we set it up. This is Big 7. Now we're going to divide it out. So I look at the first number, 4, the first digit. Can 5 go into 4? No, it's too large. So we place a 0, above the 4. Now we look at 42. We take it to 2 digits, 42. Well, I'm going to check my multiples. I want to get as close to 42 without going over. So I'm going to go down my factors and look at my multiples. And I see that 8 times. So right here, because 40, that's the closest I can get to 42 without going over. 9 would be too many because it's 45. 45 is greater than 42. We don't want to go over 42. So the 8 right here, that factor goes up into my quotient, and 40 comes over here in the subtraction machine, and then I subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. 4 minus 4 is 0. All right. After I subtract, I bring down the next digit. So I'm going to bring down my 8. Now I'm looking at 28. I want to get close to 28 without going over. So I'm going to check my multiples and my factors. And I see that 5 right here. 25 is the closest I can get to 28 without going over, because 6 would be too many. So I'm going to put that 5, okay, at the top in my quotient. Take 25, put it in the subtraction machine, line up my digits by place value. 8 minus 5 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. What do I do after I subtract? Bring down the next digit. So now I've brought down the 5, and I'm looking at 35. I want to get as close to 35 or exactly 35 as I can. I'm going to check my multiples and my factors, and I say, voila, 35 right here. So that's 7, that factor of 7, 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, put that 35 in my subtraction machine, and now I have nothing remaining. So 5 goes into 428 and 5/10 exactly 85 7/10 times. This is my quotient. Q for quotient, all right, which is exactly my answer. And so how many ounces of pretzels did Miss Jaffe put into each bowl? She put in 85 7/10 ounces. Happy fundamental math.